Kilpailussa mukana RAMIRENT. Kotikatsomon eväät tarjoaa kotipizza.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more disc golf media coverage. Coming at you today with the third stop on the Prodigy Disc Pro Tour here in Oulu, Finland. We've got the MPO feature card, round 1, back 9. I'm Tony Ferro.
And I'm Connor Wood.
And we had a interesting front 9. Not too much craziness going on, but there is a lot of OB around this course. Winds are starting to get a little bit tricky here.
And just a few trees here and there sprinkled in.
Light trees spreadage.
For the Finns, I think this is standard for the course. Let's see where we lie here with Niklas Anttila leading the front 9 at -5. You can see hot on his heels though. Many players -4, -5. This back 9 should be the decider to see how the front 9 shapes up.
No doubt. Let's get into some coverage. More disc golf media. Hole 10. Got a par 3, 112 meters. Again, we have this slight hump off the tee that's going to obstruct your view of the basket. Once you get over that and through the little bit of trees there, it's wide open. Pretty straightforward there. Hyzer shot will be the shot of choice, I believe, for the backhand righty players. Antti's going to show us obviously a different route with his lefty modus.
Seems comfortable with the backhand turnover though. Hasn't phased him yet. Niklas up first. And from this angle you can really see once you crest that bump, it does look to drop off a little bit. Swinging back in, Niklas with a fantastic shot, putting him at maybe 5 meters, well within the circle.
Yeah, I thought that Anheuser off the hand was going to be a little bit too much to the right, but it had quite a bit of stability on the disc. Vaino up. Looks to be a bit straighter of a route, but it's
also
turning
a light
over.
flex to it, but he dodges the trees, or did he catch them? Sorry, it looks like he caught one and fell a little bit short, but should have a long look.
Yeah, just hit that last guardian tree before coming on into the green. But he will be in circle 2 for the birdie.
And Jesse showing us the turnover forehand. Is there a backdoor we don't know about?
That looks like a tough line with that wall of trees there on the fade in. He will have a bit of work to do to try and get that birdie.
Let's see how Antti Turpeinen approaches the hole. He has a very serious look to him.
But yet, seems like he likes to party.
Absolutely.
Oh, that looks good. Flipping up. Come on, Hyzer. Yeah, catching the guardian just like Anttila did.
A tougher shape for the left-handed player, but I do believe we have 4 putts. Jesse up first with quite an obstructed look. Maybe a little throw. He might not quite be putting yet from there. Very sure of his footing. He releases the Anheuser, gives it the height, but floats it by. I think he can't be too upset by that.
That was a solid bid.
Absolutely. We have Antti now looking edge of circle.
There it is.
Good follow through, nice height, and just nestles it right in the cage.
And if you guys didn't check out the front 9, go on and check that out because Antti put on a putting clinic.
Look at that, catching the outermost chain, gets sucked in. Antti, he knows how to put it in the basket. Well done, Antti. I believe that's his 4th KOTI Pizza replay, including the front 9. We have Vaino up next.
Oof. Rare miss from Vaino, completely missing the basket. That will leave him some meat on the bone.
He definitely putts with some heat, but I think he'll make the correction here.
Ugh.
Definitely a little bit sweaty. You can see it on his face, but happy to pull it out of the basket there. Great angle by our friends at MDG.
In is in.
Niklas, effortless as ever, picking up his birdie putt as well.
Keeping it going from front 9. He is putting on a show.
And I believe he has a bogey-free round. The
That
only
he
one of
does.
these 4 so far.
5 birdies, 4 pars on the front. Great showing from this guy. Starting the back 9 off right.
And Jesse managing to put it in for par.
Cleaning that up. No big deal. That was a tough putt from that drive. Well, let's move on. We got hole 11, par 3, 87 meters. This is an island hole.
If you couldn't tell.
If you couldn't tell from the camera there. You got to land within these, what is this, backboard? This is your little signs here, and the wood logs in front kind of shape your island.
And the wood log is an interesting addition. You're not going to slide up on the ground into the basket. You need to hit it from above. We might see a few hyzers here.
I like that for an island hole. You don't want just a line on the island. You want to
I
have
do
something
too.
stopping you. You got to get in there. Whoa!
Just buttery smooth, bouncing it off that log we were just mentioning. Niklas, a fantastic shot.
Giving it that 99.6% effort, just squeaking it over the log. But that is going to be a tap-in birdie. Antti up next.
Looks like a good amount of touch, just flipping it up to flat, and child's play for Antti. These guys make this one look easy.
That is what you want. Floating it right down in there, landing next to the basket, skipping just 3 meters long.
And Vaino now, perhaps a good feeling on the card as these fellas park it one by one. Oh, he's thrown it a bit long, but he sneaks over that little banner there, putting it
Right over the
inbounds.
U-disc banner. But he'll be circle's edge, I would say, for the birdie with the OB just behind the basket. Could be a little bit of a tough putt.
And I think this hole is just what your best preferred throw at 87 meters is for Jesse, the forehand. Oh,
Whoa.
He may have snuck between those. We're going to have to see once we get a bit closer.
He did get some claps, so
He did,
I
that's
think
true.
maybe the spectators know best. Yeah,
he
he's
looks
in.
well in. May have taken his meter. Let's see if he can make the putt for birdie. Oh, you could see the disappointment out of the hand, just a bit low. I think the wind had something to say about that putt. Vaino with a very similar putt now. Let's see if he can correct for that, what looks to be a headwind. And the basket being slightly elevated with that OB close behind.
Just increases the difficulty when you try to make a run for it.
But Antti doing what he does best, fires it in for the birdie. Well done to him. 2 in a row on this back 9. He's looking solid.
Keep it going.
And Niklas as well, picking up his second birdie of the back 9. Those two fellas having a fantastic start.
And you can really see with Vaino's putt there how he really took a lot off of that putt to make sure he gave it a bid, but did not blow by as far as he usually does. Great touch from that.
But none of our players contesting with the drop zone. All managing to make it to the island. Jesse now also putting it in the basket.
Well, let's move on. Hole 12, got a par 4, 160 meters. Again, this is a S line through the woods. Watch out for that hit me tree on the left. That's going to be the intended pathway. You see the righties taking a backhand anhyzer, trying to pan through this fairway. Get yourself into this next line over here. Set yourself up for the approach. That's going to be relatively straight. Not too much OB to think about on this hole. Just you got your natural tree line OB. Kick off the fairway, you're going to be scrambling.
And it looks like there's that little bend halfway to contest with if you want a clear look to the basket. Let's see how much they choose to bite off on this 160-meter par 4. Niklas.
Mid-range.
He is a smooth thrower with those lower speed discs. Does he have enough turn though? Maybe got a friendly kick. Tough to say from that angle, but I think he'll be all right with that.
Yeah, he might have to do a little step out sidearm or so, but it shouldn't be too much for him to handle.
Antti a bit inside, gets caught up, but favorably kicked. Sorry,
Great
back
kick
to the fairway.
back into the fairway there.
Vaino, what looks to also be a mid-range, perhaps. Maybe even a...
Maybe,
Yeah, it looks sharper from this angle.
could almost give that a fairway driver.
Oh, he looks like he's going for it.
I'm going to say that was a fairway
I
driver.
think that was a driver of some sort. Excuse my T analysis, but slightly bleeding out to the right. I think he got a ton of distance on that, though.
That looked great.
And Jesse so far being a
Come on.
fantastic placement shot player with the forehands, but gets an unfortunate kick out to the right.
Oh, no. Sit. Oh, good double tap from the disc,
And-
saving him some distance in that woods.
Jesse with the forehand roller scramble shot. Look at it fly through those trees.
There is OB on the left. Sit down.
He sneaks his way up there.
Yeah,
Looks like he
he's-
got a lot of distance off that scramble.
He sure did, and he saved himself a few meters short of that OB line. Tough to get there, but with the roller, you can be skinny enough to get through all those trees and find that OB.
Niklas with a forehand flex, just dropping it.
Child's play from this kid.
Drops it on the basket.
My
You can
gosh.
see, though, why this comes in as the third most difficult hole of the 18. Oh,
Whoa.
took a risk. Looks like he tried to play around the fairway. Didn't quite make it back in.
And he will have a very obstructed look to
I-
save the par.
I do commend the creativity.
It was an effort nonetheless. Valiant effort.
Oh, but you can see these thick trees. Once you bleed out left or right, you do not have many gaps. Or do you have a million gaps and they're all just tiny?
But
Tough to
just
say.
hard to find the one to get all the way through there.
These skinny, I believe these are birch trees. Nice, tall and skinny. A few disc-sized gaps in there for sure. Yes, just laying it up to the basket.
Smart play.
Agreed.
Antti first up to save the par. But that looked to be a little far away and a bit too obstructed.
Vaino now. Fantastic execution. He takes his par after a tough up and down.
Just squeaking it over the rim. Who do we got next? Ah,
Looks
Niklas.
like Niklas. Just a formality. A few meters away with a fantastic upshot. Towel around the neck, although he ain't sweating. Easy birdie for him.
Turkey to start his back nine off.
He is super hot. I have to give a special shout out to the individual who got the lone eagle on this hole.
Wow.
Our boy Seppo. Congratulations.
Seppo.
Shout out.
Hole 13, par 3, 108 meters. This is almost straight shot through the woods. Really gonna just have probably a flip up shot with a soft hyzer finish at the end. Maybe sidearm if you want. There is a soft gap to the left side, but I think there's a bit more trees in your way over there.
Did
But
look like they
otherwise-
had an option though, inside or outside gap.
You do have your options here.
And recurring characteristic of this course, a bit of bumpy, sandy green. Let's see what gap Niklas decides to take. He does not follow the sign on that tree, hitting it. He sends it clear.
Unfortunately, that looked a bit too turned over, and he will be on the right side of the fairway in the trees, doing a little scramble.
Vaino taking more of a hyzer approach, perhaps even the inside gap. Although a little too inside. It looks like he'll have an obstructed, maybe edge of circle 2 from those trees.
And Jesse, we've been seeing he has been leaning on the sidearm all round. Very sidearm dominant player. Oh, but that was just early out of the hand.
They need to move that hit me tag. Sorry, Jesse.
Ooh, this... Oh, no.
I spoke too soon.
It looked so good out of the hand, but probably just the wrong angle for us, and that was another tree. He's only about midway up the fairway. Looking to get up and down for the bogey with his slammer. And he looks to have done just that.
There we go. A bit of soft ground play, and he'll get there. It looks to be a bogey save for Jesse.
Just stop the bleeding and move on, Jesse. That's all you need.
And Niklas for perhaps his 4th birdie of the back 9.
Well, this would be
an
crazy.
That would be an effort. Got a bit ahead of myself there. But regardless, a good upshot, putting him maybe 7-8 meters away. Vaino now from the knee. Good layup from a very obstructed angle.
Now, for so right in your face of a hole, this thing is proving to have some teeth on it.
Averaged a 3.2. Whether it's the bumpy green, maybe giving some interesting ground play, or all of these hit-me trees, definitely not as easy as it may look off the tee.
Now, you don't see quite a bit of... don't see the sand like you did on the other greens. It seems a lot more of compacted dirt. Makes for skips and rolls and all sorts of fun stuff to happen for your disc.
And Niklas with a good par putt. Jesse up next for a bogey. And he puts it in. Good to see that he managed to execute after a tough job getting up there, as the players now each tap in their putts. Vaino having maybe a slower back 9 than the front 9, unable to get his first birdie yet. Oh, perhaps asking people
Quiet
to
on the
stop
set.
moving. Sorry, Antti.
There you go, Antti.
A bit loud there, but he puts it in the basket for his par as well.
And we shall move on to hole 14. Got a pretty open tee shot. And gets quite a bit tighter the further you go up. There is OB on the left-hand side, but you're going to be wanting to look to get on this fairway, keep it going. 269 meter par 5. Just fighting through these trees here.
The never-ending tunnel, it looks like.
It really does. Just keep it straight, keep it on the fairway. As we've seen, these trees do not allow many gaps.
And this came in at the 5th most difficult hole of the 18. You can absolutely see why here. So as we approach this par 5, let's see how our players choose to approach this. They may look to get a bit more distance, but risk fading out of the fairway. Niklas now. The big backhand, he gets a good-looking hyzer flip up to flat, flying down the fairway. Bit of ground play. I think he'll absolutely be happy with that.
That was a very nice shot. Now really going to be shooting it over the top of the trees on this hole.
I'm sure he would if he could.
I think they all would if they could. But that is what you want to be seeing. Vaino putting it up right in the middle of the fairway, just next to the short tee.
Getting some claps, navigating that very banana-esque tree in the middle of the fairway, if I may call it that. We have Antti now.
I think he's going to be looking to flip something over. Just got to find the gaps. Oh,
You called it.
ricochet.
He did flip it over, but gets a very friendly bounce back into center fairway. Yese looking like he's lining up the forehand. It speaks to the professionalism of these players, not trying to bite off too much, just staying in the fairway. They know it's a par 5. 3 clean shots, and they might have a good look at birdie. No one trying for too much.
It would be tough to see an eagle on this hole. That would take some incredible drives. Oh, yes, they just rolled that over a bit too much on the sidearm. Cut rolled out.
You see, he is with that banana-esque tree. As he turns it up, is he getting the full flight?
What a recovery. Holy distance.
Rockets that one through. Turning the catch cam around, always a good sign. Fantastic job on the forehand there. Antti looking to line it up. A nice open view. He's done a good job keeping himself in the center, I believe off a tree kick. Speaking of,
that was the tree to miss on the left side of the fairway to get him some awesome distance. Be able to be up and down for the birdie. Let's see what he's got left. No, Niklas just did not roll that over like he wanted. But it did not kick too far into the trees, so he should be able to stretch out and have an open look.
that sounded like it had some heat on it. But just getting caught up a little bit in the branches. He gave it enough height to start contending with those leaves.
Oh, but he did skip into the trees. That may be trouble.
And you can see how quickly they get punished going too far left or right. A really demanding, never-ending tunnel shot, it seems. Niklas with his third throw. Looks like he snuck through. Might just have a few trees left between him and the basket.
He sure
Antti
did.
with a quick throw. Look
Oh,
at that.
whoa.
Wow. So smooth.
Some lefty love on this bad boy. Sidearm Annie from Yese, but too wide. And he hit some trees. Not sure what he's got left, but it's going to be obstructed.
Vaino now with a putter in the hand. Let's see if he can break out of this tree line.
Oh, yeah. Textbook.
That will do it for him. I believe putting for birdie?
I think so, yes.
We'll have to take a look. Yese definitely has some work left, but sneaks it through. And looks like he's close to where Niklas is now putting from as well. They'll both have a similar look at the basket from here.
Solid scramble from Yese. And Niklas up for the birdie, just short right. I think settling for par on this hole is not bad, though.
Let's see if Yese can show him how to do it from there. Might be a tad closer. Oh, also just ending a bit low.
Just outside the circle, look, came up short for Yese.
And Vaino putting it in the basket that was for a birdie putt. Again, sometimes he just dissects these long par 4s and 5s and makes them look simple. Fantastic to watch. Well done by him.
Even from the rough, he still scrambles, gets up and down for the birdie. Solid.
And I believe this is Niklas now for par. Oh,
She's in there.
Antti now with just a short putt. The gallery watching. He puts it in for his birdie as well. Maybe flew a little bit under the radar. How well.
Yeah.
That approach, though, you may recall, very clean. Well done by him. And Yese picking up his bogey after a lot of scrambling. I think not the only one on a hole like this.
Yeah, it's a tough little stretch, 13-14. Well, let's move on. Hole 15, par 3, 89 meters. This is, again, pretty much a straight shot. And you got OB that's going to be all around the basket here. Left side, right side, behind it. You really just want to hit the gap, land it flat, try not to flare anywhere but towards the pole. I love these kinds of holes. Super straight, toughest shot in the game.
Let's see how well they can control their lower speeds here. Something to land softly. Vaino up first.
Yeah, this looks like a mid-range from Vaino, but early out of the hand. That did not have any anhyzer on it. He will be in the rough left side, short.
Antti now. With the backhand. Going a little inside, he catches that tree right at the corner. He'll be middle of the fairway, maybe 30, 40 meters left. Niklas up next.
Oh, ricochet! Look at that thing go.
Look, he might not be happy with it, but he will take that. Let's have a look at his form here.
Oh, I better see some facial expressions out of this kid. Yeah, of course, that's the Finnish smile for you. But that was an awesome break for Niklas. He will be right there on the green.
Yes, they now showing us the forehand line. Fortunately connecting. He's had a little bit of a tough streak now, catching himself off the fairway, maybe more than he would like.
Yeah, that's a few times early out of the hand with his sidearm. And this is not what you want in the woods. Vaino up for birdie. Oh, I thought that was in all the way.
As
just
did I.
short left.
Definitely a good run from him. Yes, say now. And just also swings by the basket. Unfortunately, unable to capitalize on that one. And Niklas, after his ricochet, I'm sure he's happy with that. Cashing in another fantastic birdie, putting him to 9 down on 15.
Wow.
With 3 to go, he could potentially be approaching double digits under par on the first 18. Well done to him.
With the way he's going, I don't doubt it.
Vaino and Jesse picking up their par putts. Antti as well.
Ylämummo. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Legendaarinen ylämummo. Se on voittajan valinta. Kotipizzasta.
Oh yeah. Hole 16, par 4, 220 meters. Again, winding through the woods, left to right, back left. OB is on the left-hand side of the fairway, but again, you're not really thinking about that on this hole. You're trying to keep this thing between the trees, in the opening. Get yourself set up by those short tee pads. Keep your shots open.
And would you believe it, this is the hardest hole of the 18. So let's see how our players approach this 220-meter par 4.
Well, with a couple of 100-plus meter shots off that you have to make to get the birdie through the woods, I have no doubt that this is a difficult hole.
They definitely have the power, the accuracy in these trees. Niklas looks like he tries to go over the top. And like us, he's looking for where his disc landed. We'll have to find out.
Seems unorthodox, but I kind of think Vaino's doing the same thing here.
Perhaps a local line. A little bit sneaky. Now that almost looked like it had a roller angle. Do you think these guys are trying to bite off more distance?
I think
Or is this just a big
I think
flex?
it just looks to be a big anhyzer angle, trying to get over the trees and then flex out and crash down somewhere.
Antti with his forehand shaping the fairway nicely, but catching a tree it looked like and getting kicked off to the right.
All right, Yesse, come on now.
Yesse looking stoic as ever. He's had a tough stretch. Playing perhaps a more traditional gap.
Oh, and the hits just keep on coming for Yesse.
The crack of the Finnish woods, I'm sure, a noise everyone there is familiar with.
Vaino again looking to the sky.
Trying to remove the trees from the equation.
I
Up
would
and
have
over.
not expected that on this hole.
Perhaps because it is the hardest, they're trying to have a bit of strategy. Take some difficulties out of the equation. It doesn't seem to be working too well for him at the moment, but I'm sure they practiced that line.
And even with the kick, Yesse still finds himself in decent position. Taking a flex sidearm with a stiletto.
There
Getting
we
way
go.
up the fairway.
Well
Right in the
done,
middle.
Yesse. Antti now lining up the backhand. Giving it some heat, a little bit of ground play, a small flare. And it looks like he's cleanly looking at the basket. A long look for his approach.
No, just outside circle 2, I would say. But nonetheless, maybe he gives it a bid. Or maybe he just says, hardest hole on the course, par is great.
I won't put any putt past Antti with what I've seen already.
I wouldn't either. Oh, Niklas almost finding that OB. You can see it there right next to him. Just a couple meters away.
Going out the flex forehand.
Awesome shot.
Fantastic shape. Just a little bit short, but he is looking to be parked. Impressing the young crowd out here today. Vaino now. Looks like he's got a putt. A jumper.
Valiant effort. That was way downtown. And he almost nailed it.
Absolutely. Oh, as we were discussing, Antti says, I will take my 4 on the hardest hole. Very cleanly done by him.
Veteran move.
Yes, say now. I like it. They're giving that was a half bid. He had the height.
It's good solid go.
Absolutely.
Not a high percentage on those makes for anybody, really. Oh, taking your medicine and just laying it up is never a bad thing to do.
As everyone looks to be tapping in their pars. Hardest hole on the course. No bogeys on this card.
That's well done, boys.
Absolutely. Clinical execution. Fantastic job.
Let's move on. Hole 17, par 3, 101 meters. This will be back to the righty backhand soft hyzer shot. Could be seeing maybe light flip-ups with understable discs that'll fade out at the end. You really just crash into this soft uphill slope right by the basket. Should stop the disc very nicely. Get yourself a birdie. Finish off that round. Or almost finish off that round.
And I believe Niklas here, still bogey free. Let's see if he can maintain that on these last 2 holes. Fantastic looking throw here. Just barely flipping up his hyzer, gliding straight to the basket.
Landing nicely on that sandy hill. Stopped him 4 meters away.
I gotta say, I love Vaino. He has a little pitter-patter of his feet when he's lining it up. I love to see it. You can
Twinkle toes or
see
something.
the cogs are turning. You can see him calculating. Love to see it. He's a little bit short, but with an absolutely fine putt.
With an A5. New disc from my disc bank, let's say. Haven't
And
seen that one before.
T not playing with too much, just getting caught out on the right. And Yesse, as usual, the lone forehand of the group. Let's see what he can manufacture here.
This is going to be a tough shot for a forehand. To get enough ante? No.
Looked like a late flip, but he caught some fade. Crashing
And
the
a
trees.
skip.
Bit of an obstructed look as well.
Antti up first. Looks to be about 17 meters. Oh, wow.
He catches the flag and settles right by the basket. That'll be a tap-in par for Antti. Yes, say now. I'd say 15? 14? Oh!
Nonetheless, a great putt just off the top band.
Vaino from maybe edge of circle. A bit low, all out of the hand.
Yeah, if there was anything we've been seeing today is Vaino's timing on his putts seems to be a little off with the bigger putts. In the circle, he has just been unbelievable.
And Niklas tapping in his 10th birdie of the round.
And there we go. There's double digits right there. He's got one more still.
Very impressive. Let's see if he can take that to 11. Well done by these players.
Well, let's finish it off with hole 18, par 3, 138 meters. This is just a huge backhand righty hyzer. OB is surrounding the entire basket. Again, though, we have this sandy fairway, which should very much help players to stopping the disc on this softly uphill slope. Wouldn't be seeing a lot of ground play on this hole.
Very casual. Just bomb 140 meters hyzer. And if you do, there's still guardian trees.
It's the finish way.
It's the finish way. Let's see how Niklas approaches this. A huge hyzer. He's not
Looked
sure
inside,
about it.
yeah. It was inside, I think. And
I swear that guy had a black flag again. I'm not making this up, right? Vaino now.
black's the new green, I guess. Oh, whoa. Wide out of the
Definitely
hand.
More width and more height, but let's see if it can swing back in.
No, that's looking OB. Yeah.
That flag is definitely not black. That's unfortunately out of bounds.
It seemed to be a slip off of the tee right at the end. Gave him a bit of a grip lock.
For the left-handed player, definitely looking for some understability here for his backhand.
Not bad from the lefty. He's going to be about 25, 30 meters short, but for that type of an angle with the lefty backhand Annie, that's a really tough shot to execute.
And also a little bit inside Jesse, catching some trees.
But he will be safe, probably somewhere with Niklas in scramble mode.
And ending in tough fashion. This is the second most difficult hole on this 18, and you can absolutely see why. Very demanding par 3. Distance, accuracy, pinpoint breaking through to the green. Demands a lot. Vaino now looking up.
Oh, what an effort. Just had one tree to miss to be on its way into the basket. But he's going to still have a bit of meat on the bone with an obstructed look to save the par.
Those little saplings doing their job, putting in the work, blocking many of the approaches.
Wow, Yese with a great run to try and finish off his round. Not the best day for Yese, but there are still 2 rounds to go. Lots of time to fight. Vaino's going to clean up the bogey. That was a great putt.
Good bogey save, absolutely. Niklas now, I believe, for par. There you go.
And a bogey-free 10 down for Niklas.
Absolutely incredible.
5 down on the front, 5 down on the back. Man, that's awesome.
Antti, one of our strongest putters today, unfortunately missing that one and collecting the bogey, but sitting at -3, he'll be in contention. Perhaps not a perfect day, Jesse ending at even. I think we've had a really mixed bag of performances, but it's been fantastic to see how these players measure up, give it their all, and keep going.
I totally agree. So we take a look. We have Niklas with a -10, leading the card by quite a few strokes. Vaino and Antti at -3. Respectable scores. Still have time to catch on up. Jesse, we all know that you have much more in your bag. Not your day today, but there's plenty of time to fight and come on back in.
And a few names sneaking up to be tied with second here with 7 down. Niklas with a clean 3-stroke lead. Topias Jokinen and Lauri Lettinen tied for second. And looks like 4 or 5 players tied for fourth, just a few strokes back. Round 2 and 3 still coming up. Should be a fantastic battle.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for following along. Be sure to like and subscribe. Catch us for round 2 and 3. We're going to be here all weekend long.
And special thanks to you, the viewer.